Spring is here, sort of. The warmer weather has come a little bit early, and by warmer, it is pouring rain and quite cold. But regardless, it feels springy, which means spring cleaning. And here at Clean My Space, spring cleaning is like our Super Bowl. We probably have special snacks for this somewhere too. So in this video, I want to walk you through a plethora of spring cleaning tasks that you can start to tackle, because as the weather starts to turn up, you know that you are going to want your house to feel a little bit cleaner or a lot cleaner. So let me walk you through those tasks and how to get them done in the most efficient and effective way possible. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. And if you click the link down below, you will see our spring cleaning ebook bundle, which will further help support you in your spring cleaning endeavors. Normally I don't clean a toilet in makeup and with my hair done, so I'm gonna put my hair up and run through the products and tools that you're going to need to get this job done. First up, we're going to need a toilet bowl cleaner. You can use any one of your choosing. You'll need an all-purpose cleaner. I'm going to make my own, so I have a clean spray bottle and some dish soap. I've got an enzyme cleaner, a bathroom disinfectant, and in the tools department, I have my toilet bowl brush, a miniature scrub brush, rubber gloves, and paper towel. Before I embark on the cleaning journey, I'm gonna clean the space that's gonna be cleaned. So I'm removing everything from the toilet area. Then I'm gonna make up my all-purpose cleaner. To do this, I'm filling the clean spray bottle with water first, that way it doesn't over foam, and then I'm adding a squirt of dish soap at the end, closing it up and giving it a good shake. We'll start off cleaning the toilet using soap and water. We're gonna use the two-step disinfecting process here. So step one is to clean and remove any visible dirt or debris. And then the second step, which we'll do toward the end, will be the disinfecting. Now, normally when you start cleaning, you do dry cleaning first and then wet cleaning. So if your toilet has a thick layer of dust or any very visible debris, you might wanna brush that off to the floor first and then embark on this part. Now, what you'll see me do is spray the toilet all the way from the top to the bottom, both the exterior and the interior finish. This is important because I want to make sure all areas of the toilet get saturated in product so that I can clean it properly. So now that I've sprayed the exterior of the toilet, I'm gonna let that sit for a couple minutes and let the all-purpose cleaner do its work, just lifting that dirt to the surface. And now I'm going to put toilet bowl cleaner inside the toilet bowl. Just a quick note here, if you are using a store-bought all-purpose cleaner, you wanna make sure that it is safe to interact with the toilet bowl cleaner that you're choosing, since you will be using the two products at the same time. Because my all-purpose cleaner doesn't contain any vinegar or bleach, I know that it is just fine to use with the toilet bowl cleaner. All right, so the toilet bowl cleaner was just put in. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes to sit and do its job, but the all-purpose cleaner on the toilet itself has been sitting for several minutes now, so it's time to wipe it off. Now, I don't use reusable cloths when I'm cleaning a toilet. I really don't want that stuff circulating around my house, which is why I opt for paper towels. So I'm gonna take a few pieces. I love the paper towels where you can select the smaller size, and I'm just gonna fold it in half, start at the top, and work my way to the bottom. One little tip that I'll mention is wearing gloves when you clean a toilet really gives you the ability to explore the toilet in all its glory. The ick factor is pretty much all gone. If you notice areas around here are quite dirty, we'll get to that with our brush in just a minute. All right, as I'm coming down to this area here, I'm gonna grab my brush. This is where you wanna use it, around the hinges. Now, generally speaking, we take pretty good care of our toilets, so we don't get a lot of buildup, but just for good measure, I'm gonna get in there with the scrub brush. Now, if you did notice it was quite dirty, you could always lift off these tabs, remove the toilet seat, and just give everything a really good scrub down before replacing. You'll notice that I'm using the S pattern, so that way I don't miss one single spot, and I can always work in a consistent manner when I clean. This is another area you might want to use your brush. As well as right here. Mine looks pretty good, so I'm gonna leave that task out. I am not one to overclean anything. Now is the most joyful part of the toilet cleaning experience, scrubbing the actual bowl. And the first thing I want you to pay attention to is the area directly under the rim, the little jets where the water comes out of. You might notice that there is buildup, that pinky, orangey mildew or mold, or some dark mildew or mold. And this is what you want to make sure you're scrubbing with the bristles of the toilet bowl brush. Now, if for whatever reason that is not doing the trick, you can always switch out and use your little miniature scrub brush that you used earlier. As you're scrubbing the toilet bowl, understand the intent of the job. There's buildup in the toilet bowl and you want to use the bristles on the brush to remove that. So because I always like to clean from the top to the bottom, we're going to start with that area under the rim as discussed. Once that's done, we're going to do like a swirling motion with the scrub brush and we're kind of just going to scrub our way around, kind of cycloning or hurricaning our way down right into the toilet bowl chute. I'll show you. This is a pretty good brush because it's got a rubber neck there so it can bend nicely, which allows me to get some good leverage under the rim. I feel that is sufficient. Now I'm going to start circling my way around the bowl using a back and forth scrubbing motion. This is going to remove any hard water buildup or residual stains. Now, if you notice that you have stains under the water line, you can always use your toilet bowl brush to push water down the chute like this to access more of the toilet bowl. And you would want to do that before you actually apply your product so that it can do its work on a dry surface. Again, I wasn't too worried about that with this toilet, so I didn't do it. But now you know what to do. You're going to finish up by just doing this technique where you push and swirl, push and swirl. And the most satisfying part of the job, a big flush. As you can see, I use that opportunity to give my brush a little rinse as well, because it would be absolutely criminal to put a wet toilet bowl brush back in its container at this juncture. I'm just going to use a trick that I've been using for years, which is I'm going to allow it to drip dry into the toilet bowl by securing it between the rim and the seat. Now, at this point, you could walk away and feel completely satisfied that you have done your job. And I'm going to be doing that here. But there are two other things you can do to make your toilet even cleaner. The first one is to use an enzyme cleaner, and I will link the one that I love for you down below. And you can use this to spray on the areas surrounding the toilet, including the walls, the tiles, and even cabinetry, as well as the floor and the base of the toilet if you notice that there is a pee-pee or urine smell. Now, this happens, we have a young child, happens in my house and does happen in many other homes that I've both been to and your homes. I talk to you all the time on comments and DMs and I hear about this issue. You are not alone. This is how you're going to get rid of it. You simply spray the enzyme cleaner on all the affected areas. And if you really want to know where that urine is, you can buy yourself a little black light on Amazon. Don't look into the light, but turn it on and you'll see the spray patterns and you'll know where to spray. You're going to let your enzyme cleaner sit for anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. So you want to liberally spray the surface so that at the end of the 5 to 10 minute period, the area is still wet. If it's dried, the enzymes aren't doing their job. And while we're waiting for those products to do their job, I'm just gonna jump in here quickly and let you know that this video has been brought to you by Makers Clean, which is the company that I started several years back that sells premium cleaning tools, including microfiber and more. And you can visit that website and use the promo code YouTube10 to save 10% off your purchase. And you can also get these 3 items, the little scrub brush, the spray bottle, and the gloves that I'm wearing at makersclean.com as well. Once that's done, you're gonna wipe the surface with some paper towels. And if you still notice there's a bit of a film left behind, you can rinse the surface with just water and a microfiber cloth afterward. That is gonna help get rid of that odor buildup. Floors used to be so easy to take care of. Get a mop and a bucket and go to town. But now we have so many different types of flooring, and we have to be quite particular in terms of how we take care of our floors so that they last for a long time and they look great. Because let's be honest, when you damage a floor, it is an expensive and an annoying repair. So in this video, we are going to cover how to clean 3 key hard floor surfaces: hardwood, laminate, and luxury vinyl flooring. If your floors look like wood, they're likely either hardwood, engineered hardwood, which for this particular video, we're going to treat as the same, laminate, or luxury vinyl flooring. So quickly, hardwood or engineered hardwood has an actual wood surface to it and a wood base. There are some technical differences. We're not going to get into it, so we have to treat it like wood. Laminate is a variety of different layers all laminated together with kind of a photo of something that looks like wood on top. So it's got its own specific needs. And then luxury vinyl flooring is comprised of PVC or polyvinyl chloride, and it can be made to look like just about any finish. The key benefit to that is it is waterproof, but it's also vinyl, so it's soft and it can scratch. All 3 of these floors have pros and cons, and they have to be cleaned in slightly different ways. We're in the process of finishing our basement right now. In fact, if you hear a bunch of clamoring, that's because construction is happening as we're recording this. We decided to install luxury vinyl floors in the basement that essentially match this color that we have here because we loved the color and we wanted the durability, and clearly you can't put hardwood in a basement. The reason is because that flooring has to be waterproof, and luxury vinyl is waterproof. We have a pool in the backyard, plus we do a lot of outdoor activities and people come in, so we wanted to make sure that there wouldn't be any issues with moisture penetrating the floors. Now, that said, we're still going to be quite mindful. We're going to have a scatter rug there to collect any debris that, comes in from the outside, so we'll maintain the floor that way. But in terms of mopping the floor, the things that you want to keep in mind, you don't want to use any detergent that has a high pH to it. So that would be, anything that's corrosive, plus bleach or ammonia-based products you would not want to use on the floor. The other thing I will say to stay away from is anything that leaves kind of a hazy glaze on a floor. So a wood oil soap, not appropriate for luxury vinyl tile. Even something that is supposed to leave a shine. Those are great for tile. Those are not great for this type of flooring. So we have a very basic recipe that works really well. And in fact, most of the time I find it doesn't even need a rinse. I have a little rhyme and I'm gonna share it with you, and it applies to all the floors. And that is, less is more when mopping the floor. Say it with me. Less is more when mopping the floor. And the reason that's important is because the more soapy stuff you use, the stickier things are gonna feel underfoot. So you actually want your floor cleaner to be very well diluted so that you don't feel that stickiness, and it rinses and dries clean. To mix this up, you're going to use 2 cups of warm water, a 1/4 cup of white vinegar, 1/8 of a cup of rubbing alcohol, 1/8 of a teaspoon of dish soap. It's just a few little drops, and 5 to 10 drops of your favorite essential oil if you feel up for it. I'm recommending to use this recipe in a spray bottle and spraying it on the floor right before you mop it up. But if you are more of a bucket kind of guy or gal, you can up this recipe and put it in a bucket and work that way. The first thing to know about hardwood floor is you can have finished hardwood and unfinished hardwood. Now, the quickest way to find out if your floors are unfinished is to take a drop of water and just put it on the floor. If it beads, you know that your floor is finished. If the water soaks in, the floors are unfinished. And what that tells you is that you can't use moisture on your unfinished floors. So in the event that that is you, you are just sweeping your floors, you are not using moisture or liquid to clean them. And if something spills, you got to blot it up immediately. So with that being said, we have a very straightforward DIY recipe that you can use. Now in this recipe, it's essentially the same as the luxury vinyl tile cleaner, but we've backed out the rubbing alcohol. And the reason that is because the particular type of varnish that hardwood or engineered hardwood has doesn't love rubbing alcohol, whereas rubbing alcohol is great on the other two types of finishes because it helps water dry quickly. If hardwood and luxury vinyl and laminate were all out for dinner, laminate would be the one that made all kinds of modifications to its order. It's finicky. All right, and here's what laminate is. It's just a pile of different layers all stuck together with a photo of something on top. And it behaves like hardwood in that it doesn't like moisture, but then the top layer gets really streaky if you clean it with the wrong thing. And if you use the wrong product, it can expand and contract and do that weird behavior that wood does. So you gotta be really picky with the way that you clean your laminate. That said, it's pretty durable, so that's why people love it, and it's also way less expensive than hardwood. Okay, so the way that you wanna clean it is like this. You wanna avoid any type of soapy detergent whatsoever. So in the DIY recipe that we have put together, you'll see there's vinegar, you'll see there's rubbing alcohol, you'll see there's water, but there is no soap. So here it is. For our DIY recipe, use 2 cups of warm water, a half a cup of white vinegar, a half a cup of rubbing alcohol, and of course, 5 to 10 drops of your favorite essential oils if you're feeling adventurous. One of the hallmarks of becoming an adult is getting to buy your own mattress. It means you're moving out, you're moving up, you got your own space, and once you slap some sheets and a nice comforter on it, you don't think about your mattress again. Well, I'm here to change that because your mattress has a pretty dirty job if you think about it. We spend a third of our lives sleeping, hopefully, if you're lucky, although for me it's been way less than that lately. You're on this mattress a lot goes on the mattress, plus you're sleeping and you're sweating and you're shedding dead skin cells. Now what ends up happening is all of that just gets absorbed into the abyss that is your mattress. And over time, it smells, it sags, and it's kind of disgusting. And if it gets too wet, it can develop mold. So we need to make sure that we're taking really good care of our mattress. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Oh, and if you wanna know how much your body actually sweats every night directly into your mattress, it's an entire cup of water. If you notice that your bedroom has a bit of a off-putting smell to it, all signs are going to point to the bed. Well, most of the time. You see, your sheets are kind of like the clothing that your mattress wears. And when you sleep, you sweat in your sheets, and sweat over time builds up odors in your sheets, and that's what smells. That's why your sheets kind of smell stuffy. Now, if you're not laundering your sheets on a regular basis, which means every week to 2 weeks, that's your window, your room is really gonna start to smell. And over time, your mattress is going to absorb that odor. That, right off the top, one thing you can change right away. After stripping your bed and throwing your sheets in the wash, rather than just remaking your bed immediately with a new set of sheets, open the windows, weather permitting, and let your mattress breathe. It needs time to just air out, kind of like a fine wine. Let it do its thing. Because all of the time that your mattress is made up, it doesn't have the opportunity for air to circulate and to naturally freshen it up. But when your window is open and the fresh air is blowing in, it actually makes a big difference in helping to deodorize and refresh your mattress. Let's say you're watching this video and you have an old stain on your mattress. If it's not bothering you, aside from the fact that it's an eyesore, I would just say to leave it. And here is why. Mattresses and moisture don't get along. So once your mattress gets some moisture in it, it really has nowhere to go. And that's where the concern about mold buildup in a mattress comes from. Now, if you have a fresh stain on your mattress, you want to hop on that as quickly as you can. So as soon as something spills, you want to blot it up like crazy. So get a super absorbent cloth, blot, blot, blot. And you want your stain to be as dry as possible. The more moisture you can remove off the surface, the less will seep into your mattress and just sit there over time. Once that's done, you can then assess the surface stain, like the way it looks, and see if you actually want to tackle it. And a product that I think would do really well would be an enzyme cleaner. They're really great at breaking stains down. Of course, it'll be entirely dependent on the type of stain that it is. But when you treat the stain, you want to use as little product as possible. You can use a cleaning toothbrush just to kind of scrub it in and work it in really well. And then rather than pouring water on there to flush the stain, you actually want to use a damp cloth to try and remove as much of the suds as possible. So that way you're not adding more moisture to the situation. I know I said the M word a lot. I know a lot of people don't like that, but sometimes you just gotta say it. So let's rewind a bit. You've stripped your mattress, you're washing your sheets. What should you do now? I would recommend getting a vacuum with an upholstery brush attachment and a crevice tool, and you're going to use that to do a surface vacuum. Now, you might not visibly see any dirt or dust on there, but this step makes a big difference because it's removing everything that's just surfacey, kind of sitting on top of your mattress that you can't see. So you'll take your vacuum, you'll work from top to bottom, left to right. You're gonna use that crevice tool if you have a pillow top and you've got some bumps that you need to get into, and you wanna give it a good vacuum, and then you're gonna just let it air out. By doing that, you're removing a lot of those dead skin cells, dust mite, anything that basically is gonna make you sneeze or make your mattress smelly. That's the whole point of doing the vacuum. Deodorizing your mattress. There are lots of techniques floating around on the internet. In fact, we did a video on this years ago, and we talked about sprinkling baking soda on your mattress. And that does work because baking soda is pretty amazing at absorbing odors. But I want to change things up a little bit just to make sure that you're doing it correctly. And the way that I like to do it to get a nice consistent sprinkle is to sift it on. Once that's done, you're going to let it sit for 30 minutes and then you're going to vacuum it up using a shop vac, not your $1,000 brand new vacuum, because baking soda over time can actually affect the quality of the motor. So you want to make sure that you're using a vacuum that can handle a fine powder like baking soda. And then of course you want to make sure that you're using a clean upholstery brush. Now there are some other articles that are out there talking about adding vinegar and water to a spray bottle in equal parts and spritzing that on your mattress and letting it air dry. Here's the thing. I don't think vinegar and water is really going to fix what's going on a mattress. Frankly, I think more than anything, airing it out well, staying on top of washing your sheets is actually the best way to go. General maintenance of your mattress includes rotating it. Who knew? But yes, you do need to spin your mattress, and the idea is to always spin it in the same direction, and you do it once a season. So at the beginning of the season, you flip your mattress around just to even out the wear. Now, if you have a headboard, what you'll want to do is maintain that as well by pulling your mattress out maybe by a foot, because when you dust your headboard, dust falls from the top to the bottom right onto your mattress. So pull it out a little bit, have that leeway, and then vacuum or dust and let the dust fall right to the floor instead of on your mattress. Now this might sound like a bit of an unhappy story, but there is a plot twist that can make this all a happy ending. Quite simply, use a mattress protector. Whether it's just one that looks like an extra fitted sheet that goes right on top of your mattress before you actually put your fitted sheet on, or you get a fully enclosed mattress protector, either way, it's a moisture-proof barrier between everything and your mattress. It just keeps it in much better shape. It prevents odors, it prevents moisture issues. It's a very small price to pay for a lot of insurance. So if you don't already have a mattress protector, do all the cleaning that we talked about and then throw one on and don't sweat it. Get it?
Sometimes you just want a good cleaning hack, but other times you want to know how to clean something properly, the way a professional would do it, the way you need to clean it so that you don't void your warranty or ruin the thing you're trying to clean. So in this video, I'm going to dishwasher on how to clean your dishwasher like a pro. Because as many of you know, I run a cleaning company here in the city of Toronto. We have cleaned tens of thousands of homes, and I've seen a lot of dishwashers that need cleaning in my day. So without further ado, let's roll up our, oh, mine are already rolled up. You roll up yours, and we're gonna clean our dishwasher like a pro. The first thing to do is to unload your dishwasher after you've done a cycle of dishes. This is the prime time for you to clean a dishwasher as soon as you've gotten a load out. Now, I do want to point out this is a brand new dishwasher for us, although it is nowhere near a brand new dishwasher. This is the one that we acquired when we moved into the house. I'm still getting acquainted with it. And to do this video, I actually went online to the Kenmore website to look up exactly how to deal with this dishwasher and how to clean it and where the filter was located, and I will get to that shortly. But if you are not 100% familiar with the inner workings of your dishwasher, take a minute, find the model, find the brand, and just go online and figure out how your dishwasher works. I'm just filling this measuring cup with white vinegar. That will be for later on at the end of this cleaning, but I just figured, hey, I might as well get it out of the way. Next, I'm removing the cutlery basket and the lower rack. This just makes the bottom area and the door much more accessible for cleaning. I'll clean the cutlery basket later, but I'm not going to clean the bottom rack. It didn't need it. Now I'm taking an all-purpose spray and I'm spraying the frame of the dishwasher as well as the door of the dishwasher. I find that gets the grimiest. Now I'm mixing equal parts baking soda and dish soap, and I'm going to apply it with a cleaning toothbrush to the gasket and the frame of the dishwasher. As I said, this gets the crustiest, the grossest, and you can just spend some time going around these areas. I also went into the detergent tray as well. Just a quick little bonus. And I'll also point out that the area underneath your dishwasher might get some like crusty brown drips, so just be aware of that. Now, my dishwasher doesn't have a removable filter, but the one in my old house does, so I'm going to cut to that for you. The spinning arm was removable, so I actually just gave that a quick rinse. If you notice that you're not getting water coming out of the spinning arm the way you'd like to, or your dishes aren't getting as clean, you might want to take some picture hanging wire and just quickly go in and out of those little holes that shoot the water. That can really help with efficiency. Now you can replace your spinning arm or your filter, and you can finish up any of the work around the frame and the gasket. So I just agitated everything after I applied that baking soda and dish soap mixture. Now I'm using some water to sort of loosen everything up, and then a microfiber cloth to just wipe it and buff it. The door and the frame and the gasket practically look brand new. This was totally worth doing. Now I've got the cutlery basket and the bottom rack going back in, and I'm going to put that cup of vinegar on the top rack of my dishwasher and run through a sanitized cycle. Now, you can do this with baking soda at the bottom. You can do this with a dishwashing cleaner tablet. As long as you do this with some sort of product that will help descale and deodorize your dishwasher, you're fine. Now, the exterior of my dishwasher being white does get a little bit discolored, so I'm using some baking soda on a cleaning toothbrush to remove some of that discoloration. Then I'll just clean it with some all-purpose cleaner and a microfiber cloth. And of course, if you have stainless steel appliances, you can give that a wipe down too. One thing I forgot to mention is your instrument panel. You do want to give that a little spray and wipe, and that's it.
My self-cleaning oven died. So it's going to oven heaven, which means I don't have to worry about potentially voiding the warranty and ruining it by manually cleaning it. You see, if you have a self-cleaning oven, you're not supposed to ever clean it by hand. You're only ever supposed to use the self-cleaning function, or else you can void the warranty. But if you're someone who does not have a self-cleaning oven, you've probably been waiting like 11 years for me to put out this very video. Now that I don't care what happens to my oven, I'm just gonna go for it. So my sleeves are rolled up. Let's go and clean an oven. Cleaning your oven really is a choose your own adventure type cleaning task because you can dial it up or dial it down as much as you want. In other words, depending on how much effort you want to put in, you can really go full force or you can kind of squeak by. So today I'm just going to be showing you how to clean the cavity of the oven itself. I've got a couple of other reference videos I'll link for you down below on this topic. But a few things I want to point out. First and foremost, cleaning the oven really should happen on a fairly regular basis. I can't tell you, I can't like prescribe an exact amount of time. You'll know based on how frequently you cook and how frequently things bubble over. But essentially when you start to see spills and, crusty buildup at the bottom of the oven, it'll eventually cook and cook and cook until it becomes carbonized or like blackened. And then what'll happen is you'll start to get smoke when you're cooking. It'll affect the flavors of your food. You'll kind of think your kitchen's on fire. So that's why it's really important to kind of stay on top of this and make sure that you're cleaning your oven when you start to see and smell those cues. Now, when you're actually in the oven, aside from removing the racks, you want to be really careful that you're not getting product into fans if you have a convection oven, or into any of the burners or coils or heating elements that are inside your oven either. You actually want to be really careful around that because you don't want to cause any damage. So when you're cleaning the inside cavity, just work your way around that. Now let's talk about in between those two glass panes in the oven door. They're a pain, okay? And the thing is, you can't really clean them. I mean, you will just void your warranty if you do it because you've got to take the door apart, and oven manufacturers don't like when we try to do that stuff ourselves. Now you can kind of jimmy rig something where you put paper towel over a fly swatter and stick it up. Fine. If you want to try that, you can. I'm not going to demo that in this video because I don't have time for it, but if you want to try that, you certainly can. Just keep in mind, don't take your oven door apart. You will void the warranty. You'll probably notice here that I have some very simple cleaning products and easy to find household cleaning tools. That's because oven cleaning doesn't have to be complicated and it doesn't have to be harsh. You just have to know what you're doing and have a plan of attack. I'm not a firm believer in using heavy-duty oven cleaning chemicals. First of all, I'm not totally comfortable using them. And second of all, I don't want those chemicals in my oven that will then cook food that me and my family will eat. So that's why I like to keep it pretty simple. I'm going to give you a rundown of the things that I have here so that you can grab them and clean along with me. First and foremost, got some paper towel. I've got microfiber cloth and vinegar. This is for after the fact. We're not using this during the cleaning. I've then got dish soap and baking soda. That's right, I bought it from the bulk food store. That we're going to be using as our main product for cleaning the oven. I've got a scraper. You can use a windshield scraper, old credit card, or one of these. I'll link it for you down below. Then I've got a Scotch-Brite heavy-duty scrub pad. Love these for this task. And I've also got some steel wool, which I probably won't use, but it's always good to have on hand in case you need to level up a bit. Oh, and I also have some newspaper, which I'll be putting on the floor to catch all the dirt. Today, I'm also going to be cleaning the drawer and the area under the drawer, so I will start by removing everything from the drawer. And this is just good general practice because when you're cleaning your oven, you might get some liquid dripping in. Next up, I'm removing the oven racks as well. You can clean those in the bathtub. I've got that video for you linked below. Now, lining the area with newspaper is a good idea. It just saves you from having to do additional cleanup afterward. Looking inside the cavity of the oven, if you will, you'll see there's quite a bit of buildup in there, and some of it's loose and some of it is hardened on, which is why I'm using this scraper to do some cursory cleaning. I want to get off as much as I can so that I don't actually have to scrub and clean that mess up. So I'm just using a paper towel to do that, wiping it all out. Now I'm making up a solution, 4 parts baking soda, 1 part dish soap, 1 part water. I'll stir it up, and you want to have a nice thick paste, so you can fiddle around with the consistency. If you want it a little bit thinner, go for it. I'm just applying it by hand here. I'm sure there's a more eloquent way to do it, but I just felt like going crazy town. So here I am. I'm putting it on the sides, even on the door, but I have a feeling I'm going to do the door with Barkeeper's Friend. Now I'm removing a handheld vacuum to get under, because seriously, who is pulling out their oven? And I found a giant spider web, so it was a good thing I did it. Now I'm using a paper towel to wipe out any of the debris, and then I'm giving it a good spray because obviously I can't put this in the sink. I'm using a soap-filled sponge just to give it a good scrub down. Then I'm going to use a wet microfiber cloth to rinse the interior of this drawer, and I can put it off to the side. Little pro tip here is to put a towel down so that your knees don't get sore. Now in that bowl, I've just got some water. I've waited 30 minutes, by the way, to do this. That product has sat for 30 minutes and I'm just starting to scrub. Now you guys will notice I'm using my left hand only. My right shoulder, for those of you who don't know, I dislocated it a while ago, so I actually can't clean with that arm, and it is my dominant arm, so my cleaning chops are a little bit suffering right now, but bear with me. So I'm doing a mix of the scraper and the heavy-duty scrub pad, making sure to get the sides, the back, and of course the bottom as well. I'm gonna give this window a good cleaning, but again, I'm just gonna use Barkeeper's Friend because it needs that extra oomph. It took me between 5 and 10 minutes to scrub inside that oven. And again, I was using my non-dominant hand, so I didn't get the best results. But that's essentially the technique that you're going to use. And now I'm just using water and microfiber cloths to quote unquote rinse the inside of the oven because baking soda leaves a residue behind. I'm gonna finish it up with a vinegar rinse here. So I'm just taking another microfiber cloth and giving everything a final wipe down with some vinegar. That just helps to cut any residual grease and polish things up in there. Now I'm splashing water onto the interior oven window and I'm sprinkling Barkeeper's Friend on there. It's a super powerful product, but you can only use it on the glass in here. I'm using that heavy duty scrub pad to get all of that buildup off. It really does take a little bit of effort, well, actually a lot of elbow grease, but it does come off, and this window ended up coming out beautifully clean. So here I'm using a microfiber cloth dipped in water to quote unquote rinse it off. You might want to do it once or twice. And you can see that glass is clean. I mean, the interior panels are another story, but the glass itself is very clean. I'm just here to say good on you for getting through this video. I hope that it gave you a little bit of inspiration and motivation to get cracking on your spring cleaning. And I hope that your home feels better than it did when you started watching this video. You can always watch it again if you need a little bit more motivation, and we have plenty of other videos just like this to keep you going. So if you want to check one of those out, you can click this button right here. Don't forget to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.